finding that owl stopped me from not being here. And we're 2012 now. And after posting my photos online, this is long before TikTok, people kept saying the same thing of what to get tested for. So Bestie came with me to my doctor at the time and said, I think this is what she has. Can you test her? And he did. And it came back negative, as did the other 100 people in the support group I joined for this disease. And I was being tested for Lyme disease. She did research online and learned that the first test always comes back negative. So she pressured for a second-tier test, which he said he did not want the blemish on his record. And she really pushed for that, and it came back as reactive. That test was legitimately tossed in my face and said, I don't know what that means. Talk to your rheumatologist. Esty dropped that off at the rheumatologist before I scanned it into my computer. And this is 2012. Rumi would not contact me. I called every day for 2 or 3 weeks straight. And I got the message on my phone 3 weeks later. Rumi reception left me a message saying that she looked at the test, talked with other doctors in the field, and that I don't have the disease. With no examination, with no meeting face-to-face, with no testing, with nothing. And I was like rapidly declining, wheelchair bound. I was losing hair. I was getting shingles at 35 every second month. So what did I do? I took that test and I emailed it off to Jim Wilson. Google him. He's the president of CanLyme, Canadian Association for Lyme Disease. And I also talked with Dr. Ernie Murakami, who had been treating late-stage chronic Lyme disease for decades. Anyways, Jim Wilson wrote me back telling me, Heather, you do indeed have Lyme disease and there is zero treatment legally in Canada. Here is a list of practitioners in the United States. It's all out of pocket. Good luck fundraising. So part of me was like, yay, whatever this is, there's an answer after all those spinal taps and all those MRIs and all the contrast MRIs, which I'm allergic to, and the CT scans and over 100 x-rays. Yay! But, there's no treatment in my country. So Bessie did a fundraiser, got me to my goal. And that's a story in itself too. Someone didn't like that someone cared about me to do the fundraiser and gave, I'm not, that's for the book. Yeah. I had to supply Indiegogo or GoFundMe with all my blood work from the United States and Canada, which proves I have Lyme disease. I had the best Lyme disease doctor in the world. Late 2012 is when I seen her. And you can Google Lyme disease Heather King. No treatment in Canada. So my Lyme disease doctor lives in Montreal. She had to drive to New York, USA every day, as did all 2,000 of her patients. 2,000 of us. And the doctor all had to drive to New York to get treatment because treating chronic Lyme disease with antibiotics is not okay or legal in Canada. I'll never forget the first time I met my Lyme disease doctor. She loves owls too, so I'd always bring her owl presents. I told her about my heart and my breathing and all that stuff. And she said, I'm going to put you on this heavy cocktail of antibiotics and antivirals. And I can guarantee your heart is going to be back to normal in under 6 months. And I thought, there's no way. I've been living with these palpitations for over 2 years straight with a heart rate of 120, 130, 140 at rest. And nowhere to alive 4 months in, my heart was normal. And I could walk. I wasn't in a wheelchair. Took a long time to get my strength back, but I could speak. My throat still hurt, so I had to learn sign language, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I know the whole alphabet. I teach my 2 friends sign language because it hurt too much to speak. So for 8 years, from 2012 till 2020, I was getting treatment. But you see, when you get bit by the tick, there's over 100 strains of Lyme disease. So whatever that tick has, bacteria, virus, whatever, you get that too. So I got Babesia and Bartonella, and those are just as bad as Lyme, if not worse. And the trick to curing, see, I went over 3 years untreated and misdiagnosed. So when I did the photo shoot with my bestie, that's when I got it. So it's already did its damage. And the trick to beating Lyme disease is switching up the antibiotics every 3 to 6 months to trick the disease. And I'm allergic to 95% of all antibiotics and antivirals. So yeah, but it was a beautiful Band-Aid and it kept me going. And then the pandemic happened and I lost contact with my best friend years before that. So I did the whole pandemic alone without Lyme disease treatment. Most people, have a mom or a dad or siblings or a family or a lover or a spouse or husband or a wife or neighbors. During the pandemic, I didn't. And because my anxiety was so bad and I no longer had treatment, my friend bought me a chest freezer, told me that literally the world is shutting down. And because I wasn't paying attention on social media, because of my anxiety, and I was out filming owls, that's all I cared about when my body allowed me. And like, what? And just like I didn't believe owls were real, I didn't believe the pandemic was happening. So I legit stayed in my house, my apartment, for a couple of years. I didn't leave. I was too scared, and gained a whole bunch of weight, and my anxiety quadrupled, and I was being stalked. And that's a whole other story as well. But let's fast forward to now. So when the pandemic happened, I lost my Lyme disease doctor, which was actually the scariest thing, and my chiropractor and my naturopathic doctor, all within 10 days in the month of May. What kept me alive and okay for those 8 years were the antibiotics and the antivirals. It sometimes was equivalent to chemo. There were days and months where I couldn't get out of bed. There were days and months during those 8 years where it felt like my tendons were ripping. There were days and months where I would wash my hair and handfuls would come out. At least I was able to go out, sit in a car, photograph owls, look for owls. I got a lot better in 2016, 17, 18, 19. My Lyme disease doctor retired. So right now I'm 4.5 years not treated with Lyme disease, and the cocktail of antibiotics I was on to help me, I can't take some of those anymore, and I can no longer take antivirals because I'll stop breathing. I'm allergic to those now. I'm allergic to almost probably 80% of food. It's severely chemically sensitive. Even with a mask on in a public setting, if there's a scent of bleach, I could almost pass out. Feels like my airways collapsing, brought on by a migraine. That is all because of Lyme disease. So I still have it. I just choose not to share it because I have been made fun of in real life and online. And I'm not even going to get into that right now. But what I do want to say is I am so grateful for you, for your love of owls too. When I read your comments, I sometimes literally break down into tears because I can feel your sincerity and I can feel your energy. And to me, comments like these, that's better than a video going viral. That's better than a donation for Lyme disease treatment. I don't think you realize when you leave me your comments, that helps to heal the cracks in my heart, like for real. When I've gone through those 8 years of Lyme disease treatment, my family ghosted, like no one helped. And if it wasn't for my 2 friends, who thank God besties back in my life, I wouldn't be here. So please know your comments are everything. I grew up in a really, really traumatizing way. That's for the book. So it means the world to me when you leave something from your heart. That is a gift. And I love sharing my love of owls. That's the only reason why I'm here. I want everybody to love owls like as much as me, to the point where you'll stand up for them and stick up for them and spread awareness. And when you see someone, rescuing an owl, and they should be calling wildlife, but instead they're just doing it to go viral because they don't really care about the owl, I want you to call them out or call wildlife rehab. It's going to say in their bio where they live. Yeah, won't be the first time I reported somebody. Yeah, they're not pets. I am so grateful for the community of people who can see me and feel me and say that my love for owls is infectious, and in your heart how much I love them. And I love that you love learning about them. And I just love it. You're Team Heather, Team Owl Queen, because I have done surgeries, graduated college alone, and celebrated decades of Christmases and holidays and birthdays alone. So, your kindness and your comments to me are like gold. But I guess my message, even though I'm triggered and reliving everything I lived for those 4 years, because I know what it does when you don't get treatment. It doesn't just attack your body, it attacks your brain for real.
I guess my message is you have to find something that speaks to your heart and soul. You have to find something that is the most meaningful to you. You need to find my version of owls. You need to find Ren's version of music. And you need to pour yourself into that like your life depends upon it. That owls saved my life. That snowy owl is why I am here. And my live doctor, 2 friends. But if it wasn't for that owl, I wouldn't be here. I don't photograph other things. It's the owl. After the snowy owl, then I discovered, wow, great horned owls. And then I started researching everything online about owls, every species in my area, where to find them, what food they like, when they have their babies. I literally planned my life around the nesting seasons and migrations, eruptions, whatever of owls. That is all I have done for 14 years, as I have been quietly and secretly trying to battle a disease in which there is no cure for. And I have lost probably 50, close to 50 friends. I had 12 of my friends in Lyme disease support groups not be here. They died from the disease in 1 year. So needless to say, I don't visit any support groups. I don't research anything anymore because I have far too much anxiety. So I'm just going to be quiet. But if you have a gut feeling and intuition that something's wrong, keep going for that testing no matter what. Have someone come with you, because if you have an advocate that speaks instead of you, they will listen. Me on my own, I was a joke. Bringing my bestie or the boyfriend at the time meant everything. So I hope that helps. Find something you love and find someone to help fight your health battle, because doing it alone, you won't win.